Knowledge and skills are the powerful tools to break barrier. Continuously upskilling yourself, stay ahead of industry trends, and don't shy away from entering male dominated field. There is no field which is male or female dominated. It's the field which actually interests you. Expertise speaks louder than stereotype.
Hello and welcome everyone once again to the Superlawyer YouTube channel. Today we have with us Dr. Shweta Singh, the real she, a leader with a golden heart, an unwavering soul with passion racing through her veins and sparkling through her gaze. And that is what defines her legacy and as she shines at the pinnacle of all else. Dr. Shweta Singh, the woman who has built an empire with unparalleled commitment and enthusiasm to change the world for better with innovation and whom every woman can aspire, is today with us. I really hope that she'll be sharing her stories for us to get inspired. Thank you, ma'am, for agreeing to be with us here. It's a real pleasure. Most welcome to our show.
Thank you, Divya and Anshi, both of you, for inviting me here. It's actually my pleasure because as much as we interact and as much as we network, and I believe in growing together. That is my main motto. So
Great, ma'am. Great. Thank you so much. So let's start with the interview and the very obvious question that as the founder and CEO of Ennoble IP, an award-winning technology-driven IP firm, your expertise in intellectual property law is specialized, very niche. What was the initial catalyst that actually sparked your interest in pursuing the career in IP?
thank you, Divya. So this is like a very interesting question for me. I have been asked many times, and I always say that actually my personality is like I get bored easily with things, not people. Okay, so if I am doing something continuously and I feel monotonous and I get bored, since my childhood, it was a dream that I should do something my own because of my, I would say, background or family conditions, very orthodox family. But I wanted to do something interesting, which always interests me. It should always give me a kick to do better, best, right? So this way I developed my journey. I will say my interest in IP law was sparked during the graduation day, when I was actually searching what should I do, and I encountered with a book of BD Singh where there was a chapter on patents. And this chapter opened my eyes to the fascinating world of innovation and technology. And as I dwelled deeper, I realized that working in this field mean being exposed to new ideas and groundbreaking technologies every day. And it was, I would say, being on the front line of innovation. And you being into IP now, you will realize that why I chose IP. And what truly drove me into starting my own journey into IP was like IP became my passion. I developed for it high attitude. So IP became more than just a field of study for me. It became my attitude, a part who I am. And I believe I am at my best when I'm working in this space. And that confidence gave me the drive to turn this passion into business. And more than working with the corporates and university, I realized that there's a huge gap in the support provided to universities, startups, and SMEs, the small businesses. And when I came into IP, I started to cater their needs. So I wanted to bridge that gap. So for me, it's not just protecting ideas, but also empowering innovators and helping them to realize the full potential of their creativity.
Wow, Dr. Shweta, what an empowering way to support the society and the innovation as well. And in a way, it's helping the country. During early stages of your career, while you spent your 4 years working as an IP consultant, basically in patent research and analytics, what kind of experience was that influenced your career trajectory? And what were the key insights that you would prefer to share? The kind of lessons that you may have gained during that time, the way one should plan their IP career if they can plan at all. So I would request you to share that.
So, see, during the early stages of my career, I spent not 4 years but 7 years working in as a IP professional, focusing more on the patent research and analytics in both corporate and academic environments. So, I worked in corporate also. I worked with MIT University, only one university I worked as employee there. So, this experience was instrumental, I would say, in shaping my career trajectory and deepening my understanding of IP for multiple perspectives. So, I learned learned about how IP is being taken care in the corporates or the business sectors, and how IP is being taken care in the university. So in the corporate sector, I learned business strategies around IP to stay ahead of competitive market, because more of the big businesses or corporate file IP not only to protect but make money out of it. So they have to ahead of their competitors. And I gained insight how patent can drive innovation and secure market advantages. On the other hand, my time with MIT University exposed me to the academic approach to IP, how research translates into intellectual property, and the challenge faced by institution in managing and leveraging their innovation effectively. Then the biggest lesson which I learned during this time was immense potential of IP to create tangible value, whether for multinational corporation or university or even a startup. So it also made me realize the importance of bridging gap between innovators and IP process, which eventually inspired me to start my own venture. And there is a whole story around it, that I was in Singapore attending a conference through WIPO. And there in the conference, people were talking about their innovation. Then one of the, I would not name, but one of the speakers said that India and China, and the first country was India, he mentioned. So India and China people worked on jugaad system and they copy the product. So it's the worst market, because there is no awareness and people do not protect their IP, in fact copy others IP. So it hit me actually hard. And I thought that why not go back to India, leave this job, and start something which actually caters, because I knew I got hurt as an Indian, but this was actually 10 years back or 12 years back. So I came back and I said that I quit my job in one day. And I said, I do not have fund or anything, I don't know, but I will start. So I did 75 free workshops I gave that time in 2013. 75 workshops in SMEs and universities to make them aware of IP, why it is important. See, why you should file is secondary, but why it is important and what you are losing is the main question. So, concluding that my time in these roles gave me either corporate or academic, or going to the conferences, interacting with the IP experts, gave me the technical expertise and industry knowledge that I rely on today to support universities, startups, small businesses, and then in navigating complete IP journey.
Wow, ma'am. Quitting your job within a day and deciding to do 75 workshops, it's absolutely amazing to hear. You actually are the first generation serial entrepreneur, woman entrepreneur, I would say. Can you take us through that journey, through that experience that actually led you to start Ennoble IP? And how do you see that this is impacting society at large and majorly women entrepreneurs? How are you giving them that boost while you are taking these workshops, sharing with them your experiences? Because, yes, seeing a person grow like this makes everyone think, can I learn something from her or him as well? So we would request you to share that particular part as well.
So I'll just correct here, Divya. Let's not define entrepreneurship in gender, right? So I'm totally against this, because you yourself is an entrepreneur, and I would request, because I was on the same thought process, same mindset, that I'm a woman entrepreneur. I am a woman entrepreneur. But with time, I realized entrepreneurship doesn't come with a gender. We are entrepreneur, either it's male, female, or the third genders also, right? So I realized that do not capture entrepreneurs in a gender. We share almost the common problems. Yes, I agree with you. As a woman, 30% problems or 20% or sometimes 40% problems are specific to the genders. But let's not box entrepreneurs on the genders. And coming to the journey, Divya, as I mentioned, I belong to a very small town and a very orthodox family. We are Rajputs, and I belong to Eastern UP. So the family culture was like, when a girl is born, she is meant for 3K, knitting, kitchen, and kids. So this was my complete family scenario, because we were three sisters and my father was told by घर का एक मुखिया होता है, right? So वही बताते हैं कि कैसे पूरा घर चलना है. And we have a joint family till date. We have a joint family. So my tauji guided my father and my dadaji guided my father that you have a daughter, you save money and give them basic education if you want. But my mother and father was very rebellious, both of them, I would say. First step was taken by my mother, but yes, my father joined hand, and my mother told that I had daughters, but that doesn't stop me from making their career or making them financially independent. And my mother was like, whole time till we realized this, until she got to know that now we have realized, told us one thing, that financial independency is the freedom you actually require in your life. Otherwise you will always ask, you don't have brother, you will always come and ask your father, I want this, give me this money. You'll go to your husband and ask, I want this, give me your money. You'll go to your bosses who will be male and ask that increase my salary, I want this much salary. So why won't you create your own financial freedom so that you don't have to ask? And she gave her example, see, I have to take any decision, I had to ask your father. And if I would have be earning, I would sit with him and we would discuss that scenario, that we should invest or not, I should take or not, rather asking, I want this, will you help me to buy that? And the confidence, so she talked about financial freedom and confidence, until unless we three realized that that is very important. And my father supported, I would say he was always the strongest backbone with us and my mother. Now coming to the first generation, so my journey as first generation entrepreneur has been both challenging and incredibly rewarding. I always say, be proud of yourself. So I say I'm very proud whatever I have done. And growing up, I didn't have, as I mentioned, didn't have a family business or entrepreneurial legacy to guide me, but I always had a strong, I would say that's because of my mother, to drive to create something meaningful. And the key moment that set me on this path was during my university days, when I discovered my passion for IP. And that idea could work with innovators, supporting innovators, help protect groundbreaking ideas, which fascinated me a lot. So after gaining experience of industry, both from corporate and academic setting, I saw significant gap, as I mentioned, that how IP services being delivered to startups, universities, and SMEs. So while large corporation had access to world class IP support system, smaller entities were often left struggling to navigate the complexity of intellectual property. And that I wanted to change. That was actually the kick, that I want to be independent. And that independency, so my sisters were like, yes, we will work. And I was like, no, I don't want to bound myself in one job. I want to build a business. And that time I was child. So as you grow, the wisdom comes. So I was child and I was like, I will start a business where these daddies ke friend will come and say, please employ my child. And these relatives will come and say, please help me with the job also. I was of that say, but I was totally wrong. So for the young people who are watching this, see, this should not be the driving force for you people. And I was kid, but with the vision, with wisdom which we get with the age, with experience, I am not working today for myself. I'm working for almost 260 people who are working for me right now. So we are working together. That vision comes. So entrepreneurship, I would say, there's a very beautiful thing if you actually enjoy this journey. So starting Ennoble IP was my way of bridging this gap, not only in the industry, but bridging the gap of my thought process also. And I wanted to always create a platform that not only provide IP services, but also empower innovators in making more accessible, so more understandable, more strategically strong platform where they get support. So along the way, the three challenges were: first, learning to navigate the business world without prior experience, building trusted network, and establishing credibility as a first generation entrepreneur. And here comes your question, that yes, I faced a problem being a woman. And that I mentioned, it's only 20 to 40%, not more than that. Rest all problems are same. So trust is the major issue. And that time when I started, I was very thin, I looked much younger than my age, so people were not trusting me. So I was sitting with one vice chancellor of the university, and I had a talk after that. So he said, madam, I thought that you are chief guest, you must be very aged and big, will you be able to handle this workshop, and will you be able to handle my university's work? and you are just a woman, madam, and this university is very big. In my thought process, I'm saying in my mind that from where have you come? You have so many women faculties. It's only that you are sitting on a chair and leading them. So I said, sir, I need your help. Obviously I'll need your help. If you help me, I will able to manage, because that was me satisfying the male ego. And then I went for my talk, and when I came back, he was like, you are like chota packet bada dhamaka. I said, no sir, you are wrong. I am whatever in the packet, big or chota bada, I don't know, but I am dhamaka, that I know. So never underestimate women, because if we can handle a kitchen, kids, we can handle anything, sir. And second, if a woman can give birth in this world to one living thing, she can do anything. She can do anything. And he was all mum. Till now, we are good friends now. And I respect him a lot. But he also says that, Shweta, you changed my mindset. And after that, I was very happy. He actually gave his daughter wings, which she wanted. So, what I wanted to mention here, that each of the experiences which I got has taught me mainly resilience, adaptability, and the most important thing is staying true to my vision, because that is very important. And there are all of this, I say resilience is something which has built me, because it's like fighting the odd situations every time. And as a woman we get issues, but as an entrepreneur we get more issues, right? So it's only the resilience, and it's here mind. People these days on Instagram talks about manifestation, right? मुझे ये वर्ड नहीं पता था, आज पता चला मैं जो कर रही थी वो मैनिफेस्टेशन था. मैं बचपन से I manifested something, and I believe my favorite song is चांद तारे तोड़ लाऊं, and that song is manifestation. And look at the actor, where is he, right? So it's all here, you just have to build. And these characteristics and skills no one is born of, you come, you develop with experience. So I was very naive. मुझे investors से मिलने जाती थी. I didn't want to raise for my startup, but I have a NPO where I support women. So I believe in giving back to society. So through that NPO I support women, and we do actually are not for profit. I put my money only. Till now we do not work for CSR fund only, because my women, they are doing fantastically good. So when I went to the investors, they were like, अभी नहीं होता है ये, मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूंगी, अभी बहुत रेयर हो गया है, 1 या 2% रह गया है. बट इनिशियली व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड देयर वाज नो मच एक्सपोजर टू 2012 2013. सो दे वर लाइक, ये तो अभी शादी हो जाएगी, अच्छा इसकी शादी हुई है, ये फैमिली प्लान करेगी. आई एक्चुअली गॉट फ्यूरियस इन द फ्यू इंटरव्यूज एंड फ्यू मीटिंग्स, एंड आई सेड, सर वो लड़का भी तो फैमिली प्लान करेगा, उसका भी तो बच्चा होगा. It's because we as women have to go through all these process, doesn't mean that we are weak, right? And it's a mutual responsibility. बट आई हैव सीन द चेंज इन द इकोसिस्टम नाउ. हम बहुत fearless हो चुके हैं. मैंने स्किल डेवलप की है, और मैं नए जनरेशन में what I'm seeing that they are already born with these things. They are born, this Gen Z actually, they are born with this fearless expressions and thought process, which is commendable actually, which is really cool.
I
I sorry I took a lot of time in this
Oh, it's
question.
amazing to hear such stories, and thank you for correcting me. But then I'm still going to say serial woman entrepreneur, because you are one of the proud ones, and you are making us all proud by doing something in one of the very orthodox states of India. I won't say specifically that everyone faces the same thing, but yes, ecosystem may have changed a little bit. But you and people like you are bringing in that change, not everyone else, unless we keep on going and doing that. And while I was listening to your story and the way you grew and the way your mom helped you, supported you, and made this point that she teaches you about financial independence is something which is very, very important. And I guess you got your fighting instinct from her, your manifestation from her.
I always see, Divya, sorry I'm cutting you in between. We three sisters, when we discuss, we always say that agar hamari maa ko, she has got the proper education, she must be the CEO of any company or leading a company. Because my dad has bad, I will say not bad, but slow decision making part. My mom is very quick with the decisions. But I would again correct, until unless father supports, mom also cannot do anything. So my father, he is not a risk taker. So I got risk taking ability from my mother, but the values, the empathy I got from my father.
See, both are part of the same system. One has to support other in order to
Yes.
make the ecosystem work. But
Yes.
when he supports, it becomes a big success. If he
Yes.
did not support, it won't become a success. So basically, the first step risk taking was done by your mom, and you guys did wonders. Given this all, I'm really sure you must have shared all of this on so many other stages. But if this reaches to certain spaces like YouTube and others, I believe that it will bring in a lot of changes in thought process also. That please understand that women are not there only for 3Ks, but they are beyond that as well. So I'll never forget your 3Ks, and I'll keep it in mind forever. Keeping all of this, everything going on, intellectual properties have often been considered very complex and intimidating for startups. How did you handle that particular challenge whenever you face those young innovators and startups? The way you are explaining your stories, have you used that to navigate such issues? Do you have any specific point in your mind that this is the way I have told startups or guided them through the whole ecosystem, because they are not that trained? Now it has become a different scenario, but 10, 15 years prior to this, it was not the same scenario as we are living in. Because India became recently number one patent filing country, I guess. So yeah, we are quite proud
Not
of
number one, still not number one.
number one in world, but number one in Asia. It's I think 63,000 patents.
China still is leading the world, right? And
Yeah,
I believe that we have to surpass China because we are population wise more stronger. First, we are technology, brain, intellectually very sound. So I'm very proud Indian. Actually, I say I travel a lot of countries, and when I come back, I love inhaling this polluted air. I love this thing. So India still has long way to go. Scenario has changed. पहले awareness नहीं थी, they didn't know about IP, so they were not filing. Now there is awareness, but still they don't file. Many of the startups do not file. Why? Because they don't give priority to IP. They think that it will come in the later stage. Why to invest the money? They don't know if investing money on IP strategies is the key to drive the business. They don't know the story of Google. They don't want to know. They just see Google has become Google, not with the business strategy only, through the IP strategy. Apple is Apple because of IP strategy. So, this I would like to add before starting this answer. So, coming back to your question, see, IP law indeed seems daunting for startups and young innovators, especially when they are more focused on developing their products or services than navigating the legal complexity. Some key challenges which they face actually, and this is complete from my experience of 10, 12 years. It's first lack of awareness, as I mentioned, that many startups are unaware of the importance of intellectual property or the step required to protect their innovation, or IP strategy should be the part of the business strategy only. And they often underestimate how crucial it is to secure patents, trademark, or copyrights, or if it is product, the design also, right, in the early process only. Second is limited resources. So startups or small businesses typically operate on tight budgets, which can actually make it difficult for them to prioritize IP amidst that other pressing needs like product development or marketing. So they more invest on product development, marketing rather than prioritizing the IP. The third is global complexity. So for startups looking to expand internationally, understanding and complying with IP law across different jurisdictions, I would say, can be overwhelming. And the fourth is timing and strategy. Filing of IP protection when it becomes too late or without a clear strategy can actually leave startups vulnerable to infringement, competition, or even the loss of their innovation. So, how we do, like at Ennoble IP, and I'm not promoting it here, but I am trying to put out the strategy how we follow. So, we have designed our services specially to address these challenges, these four challenges which I mentioned. We begin by educating startups and SMEs about the intellectual property and how it can serve as a powerful business asset. We offer tailored solution that actually are cost effective with the same quality with the corporate gets and align with their stages of growth. For example, we help startups conduct patent search, then make them understand why it is done, file application and ensure that their IP strategy aligns with their business goal. And we don't force that you have to file patent if it is not required, right? So there are different IPs, and you already know this because you are into the same business line, that it is sometimes it is not required that patent should be filed. It's a music industry, the copyright is more than enough. So we make the strategy accordingly, and we also assist with global filings and provide a strategic advising on leveraging their IP portfolio for funding, for partnership, for marketing positioning. And our goal is to make IP process as seamless as possible for these startups and SMEs, so that they can focus what they do best, that is innovating. We always say we will handle your IP strategies, you handle your product and marketing strategy, because the marketing also require IP. Many of the firm doesn't know that your marketing materials or complete marketing strategy should have IP. So ultimately I see that IP should not be considered as hurdle, but as an opportunity for smart businesses, I would say startups, SMEs, to strengthen their competitive edge. And as I said, that I'm passionate about helping on these front.
Amazing. Their marketing material should also include IP is something which is
Yes.
a very big quote and a statement which should go to everyone and not only SMEs, even the individual innovators. I guess you are supporting so many of them. Given the scenario today, there is a rise of new technologies, I would say not new, the ones which are now rejuvenated, especially AI in IP. There is a growing need for IP protection in the kind of fields where AI is getting involved. How do you see the intersection of IP laws and IP per se with this kind of disruptive tech, which is going to shape the future of innovation in a very different manner? Because obviously, all over the world, now regulations are coming up. So,
Yeah.
given that fact, how are you seeing that you are going to cater to these needs in Indian environment and ecosystem?
See, I would say that the intersection of IP law and emerging technologies is becoming increasingly crucial in shaping the future of innovation. Because as the technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, quantum computing, applied biotechnology, or applied sciences as whole, and IoT, these evolve at a rapid pace, and they are pushing the boundaries of traditional intellectual property framework. And this presents both the challenges and the opportunities. So one key challenge, according to me, is the pace at which the technology is advancing in IP, which were designed for conventional invention system, often struggle to keep up with the dynamics and interconnected nature of emerging technologies. For instance, I would say that questions around patentability of AI generated inventions or the ownership of decentralized blockchain solutions are creating new debates in the legal and regulatory space, which we both are aware. On the flip side, this intersection, I would say, is driving a deeper understanding of the strategic importance of IP. Companies and innovators are recognizing that a robust IP strategy is not just about protecting the ideas, but also now creating a competitive edge in market driven by technology innovation. And here you don't need only IP strategy, but you need a good market research also. So IP portfolios are becoming integral for attracting investments, entering a strategic partnership, and even determining valuation in mergers and acquisition. And the biggest example was not a recent example, but Nokia, Lumia, right? Nokia and Microsoft, BlackBerry. So these are the recent example how your IP portfolio actually protects the complete company. And at Ennoble IP, how we do, we are at the forefront of this intersection. We work with innovators to help them navigate this complexity, whether it's filing patents for AI algorithm, protecting proprietary aspect of blockchain application, or managing IP risk in cross-border collaborations. Our role is not just to protect their innovation, but also to help them leverage their IP to unlock new opportunity. And looking ahead, like future, I believe IP law will continue to evolve to address the unique challenges posed by emerging technologies. For instance, there will be greater emphasis on global harmonization of IP law to manage the borderless nature of technology. And we will also see more collaboration between legal, technical, and policy expert to ensure that this IP framework foster innovation without stifling it. And ultimately, the future of innovation, I think, will rely heavily on how effectively we can align IP protection with needs of new technology, and by staying ahead of the trends and proactively addressing the challenges, we can assure that innovation ecosystem remain vibrant and sustainable. And I believe that, as I mentioned, Divya, that IP strategy should not be only strategy, but your market research and business intelligence should be collaborative. So IP, market research and business intelligence should be part of your complete strategy to ahead of these technology. AI में आप देखो, every day you will get something new, right? ब्लॉकचेन में आप देखो, देयर आर न्यू, एंड वी आर वर्किंग विद सो मेनी स्टार्टअप्स अक्रॉस वर्ल्ड। इंडिया में थोड़े कम है ब्लॉकचेन स्टार्टअप्स, बट विद माय यूएई ऑफिस वी आर वर्किंग विद सो मेनी ब्लॉकचेन स्टार्टअप्स एंड अमेजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, बट देन आईपी रूल एंड रेगुलेशन of each jurisdiction, each country is different. So these are the challenges, and I mentioned a small way how we can, but yes, I'm telling you, you being into same services, India is now becoming a gold mine for IP providers, actually service provider, because huge investment, huge technology, I would say R&D is going to come to India, already started, right? So we are sitting on a gold mine right now.
Wow. That being said, that we are sitting on a gold mine, I would request you to talk about your entrepreneurial career, where you actually have broken the glass ceiling. What kind of advice would you give to other, again, women entrepreneurs? I know you will again say that it should not be gender based, but there are times when we face gender based biases. As we see, technology biases are also there, and it is getting into AI as well. There are obstacles. How do you see that one can navigate through those kind of obstacles, keeping in mind where we are trying to grow, what space we are looking forward to, especially IP, especially being in a country which, as you rightly said, that is going to be gold mine. So, what would be your advice and the kind of navigations would you share with our listeners and learners?
I would add, Divya, here. I'm not correcting you with the gender. You are completely fine. But I'm saying let's start doing it, that we are entrepreneurs, right? But yes, you are 110%, I will say 1000% right. Gender biased चीजें बहुत होती हैं, and we are judged on that. लड़की है तो भारी सामान नहीं उठाएगी, लड़की है तो ये नहीं कर पाएगी, लड़की है तो टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं आता है. And I'll tell you a real example before I come to your question. When I started my business, I love doing social media and digital marketing. That is also my passion. So I have a company for doing the same. So I learned with the experience. But so I was asking a person, a video person, to make the video, and I was correcting this, that, that. So he said, "Did you have so much knowledge about video softwares and all?" And he then asked me a few questions, and I answered, "No, no, this technology, this much, this." So he was like, "Being a girl, why do you, how you know all this?" And I was like, this is gender comes here also. Being a girl, I don't know about technology. So, no, no, you people can be good at science, but engineering is something, or technology is something you are not. You take, and still the belief is that we take phones only for good photos, right? But no, I check the processing. I check what kind of operating system is there. I check. It's not only me. I believe many of us checks, right? And there are boys also who take phone only for photos. So gender biasness is there, and I totally agree with that. That we are judged. But now coming back to your question, see, breaking the glass ceiling as a woman entrepreneur, and now I am adding here woman entrepreneur because this is gender specific question, has been a journey filled with challenges, I would say, but also immense growth and satisfaction as an entrepreneur. Gender based biases and obstacles are real, but they are not, I would say, insurmountable. To women entrepreneurs navigating their careers, especially I'm talking right now only for the women entrepreneurs, here I'll mention few advices from my own experience. First is believe in your vision and abilities. See, the way what I realize now, it's all mind game. We are told, we are कल्चर्ड, आई वुड से, इन अ मैनर कि लड़की हो ये नहीं कर सकती, लड़की हो ये नहीं कर सकती, लड़की हो तुम्हारा भाई देखेगा, लड़की हो तुम्हारे पिता देखेंगे, लड़की हो तुम्हारे पति देखेंगे. So we are cultured in this, processed, I would say. So first of all, आप इन सब चीजों से बाहर निकलो, and you should believe that you are thinking your visions should be high, you should be ambitious, and what abilities you have. The present generation I cannot talk much, but yeah, still 60-70% they face the same issues. But हम ना वो हनुमान जी हैं जिनको याद दिलाना पड़ता है that you have these abilities, right? So again, I would say that if we can bring life in this world, and God has chosen us, made us more stronger than any other genders. So believe in yourself. And this is the first step to trust yourself and your vision. You will encounter doubts, sometimes from others, sometimes within yourself. And when it comes from within yourself now, it is completely fine. Your confidence you lose, that is good sign, because many a times in a day 4 5 times I lose my confidence. I'm very happy, chalo abhi आया है, अभी आएगा दोबारा, गया है, आएगा दोबारा. But it is important to stay grounded in your own purpose, confident in your capabilities. The second is build your own support system. It is very important. As a woman हम सब कुछ खुद करना चाहते हैं, we want to do ourselves. It is not important. See, you have to take help. So build your network, build your support system. Trusted network बोलती हूँ मैं उसको. Surround yourself with mentors, peers, friends, allies, family who supports you. Not all relatives support, I know, who uplift and guide you. Whatever you say, there will be few people. For example, I'll say I want to enter into a business which will give me short term returns. Now there will be one friend, क्यों बर्बाद कर रही हो अपना, एक काम कर रही हो ना, मत करो. There will be other person in my life who will say, okay, let me know if you need any support. Now you have to just there who is talking positively and standing for you. For me, building trusted network has been the game changer, helping me navigate challenges and while staying focused at my goal. The third is turn biasness into motivation, which I did in my personal life. Gender biasness can be disheartening, but I have learned to use them as fuel to prove my worth. I will say that every no I have faced has strengthened my resolve to push harder and succeed on my own terms, and that we all should do. Fourth is invest in learning. Everyone says that पूरी life तुम पढ़ती रह गई क्या? And still I want to study, I want to learn. Why I do such kind of podcast or I go to talks? Because I learn from there. So invest in learning. Knowledge and skills are the powerful tools to break barrier. Continuously upskilling yourself, stay ahead of industry trends, and don't shy away from entering male dominated field, because there is no field which is male or female dominated. It's the field which actually interests you. Expertise speaks louder than stereotype, I would say. And believe me, my dad always told me, and this was my dad, आपसे आपका वेल्थ लोग छीन सकते हैं, पैसा छीन सकते हैं, आपका सब कुछ लिया जा सकता है आप, बट दो चीजें जो आपसे नहीं ली जा सकती हैं वो है आपकी नॉलेज और आपका कैरेक्टर. सो ऑलवेज वर्क ऑन दोज थिंग. सब कुछ चला जाएगा ना, फिर भी मैं नहीं डरती आज के टाइम पे, बिकॉज आई नो आई हैव एक्सपर्टीज, आई हैव नॉलेज, आई कैन अर्न. तो मुझे जब डर नहीं लगता तो आई ऑलवेज टेक रिस्क. सो नॉलेज इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टूल. Now, fifth is create your own opportunities. If you find door closed, don't hesitate to build your own. As a first generation entrepreneur, I didn't inherited a business, right? I built one from scratch. It's about being resourceful, proactive in creating pathways where none exist. See, for example, I started a business, and the way you understand better, this is a very crowded space. IP is a very crowded space. So I didn't hesitate to enter into this crowded space because I came up with an innovation model which I cracked with universities and startups and small businesses. Now, the sixth point I would like to mention is advocate for others. As a woman, we have unique opportunity to lift each other up, whether through mentorship, collaboration, or simply sharing the stories. Supporting other women can create a ripple effect of empowerment. So I always say that जय हो मूवी अगर सबने देखी है सलमान खान की, मुझे नहीं पता कितने लोगों ने देखी है, उस मूवी में एक चेन बनाता है, डोंट रिमेम्बर मच नाउ. मैं वही कहती हूँ, अगर एक ही वुमेन का हाथ पकड़ के उसको अपलिफ्ट करती है ना, तो दिस चेन कैन एक्चुअली चेंज. बिकॉज मैंने अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से बता रही हूँ, मुझे मेन से ज्यादा सपोर्ट मिला और वुमेन से नहीं मिला ज्यादा सपोर्ट. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई स्टार्टेड this mission in WIF, my NPO, that support a woman. You will actually do the best thing in your life. And the seventh, I would say, embrace resilience. That is key for me. There will be setbacks there, but resilience will be the key for you. Every obstacles that you overcome adds to your strength, experience, and making you better equipped with the next challenge. And to all women entrepreneurs, I would say that don't let anyone define your potential. Dream big, be ambitious, proudly say that I am ambitious, I want to make more money. Because हमें बहुत शर्म आती है बोलने में कि पैसा नहीं बनाना हमसे बिजनेस. नो नो, बिजनेस कर रही हूँ बट पैसा भी बनाना है. And take help. So dream big, be ambitious, work relentlessly, and lead with purpose. Remember, your success is not just your own, it's an inspiration for others who are watching and believing that they can do too.
Wow, what an amazing candid interview with you. Empowering, enriching, and of course, very, very, very innovative in a way that it will reach the masses. And I will personally go ahead and share it with so many others. Dr. Shweta, this has been one of the very, very promising interviews, I must say. The way you have explained things, not only for women in the center, but for the entrepreneurs, for the startups, it has been an amazing interview. And thank you so much once again for carving out this much time to share your story, your ways of innovation in order to promote the intellectual property, the system, and to be the proud Indian that we already are. It's absolutely mesmerizing. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you so much, Divya. Thank you.